Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special of my live comments, Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We are all family men and the welfare of our children is our prime importance to us. And we do know that the children learn by imitation. We also know and we are very well aware that we want our children to be modeled. We want proper, good role models for them. Unfortunately, our choice of role model, whom children should imitate, ape, and copy, is either wrong, misplaced, or motivated by wrong notions. We do not deny that it's incumbent upon adults in their lives to be positive role models. They should be. Father, mother, elder sibling, teachers, priests, all the people who are in a state of veneration, respect, should be the role models. But we are living in a media-saturated environment. And in this media-saturated environment, the parental influence is getting slowly and steadily reduced. It's getting diminished. And the main reason for diminishing of the parental impact is the fixation that the children have for the glamorous lifestyle of actors, rock stars, and athletes. And then we call them celebrities. The fault starts with the parents. They have started calling all the good dancers, all the good actors, all the good players, and sportsmen to be celebrities. We treat them as heroes instead of taking them as a leading characters in their profession and vocation. And this undue glamour which has been attached to these rock stars, having glamorous lifestyles, actors, far removed from reality, creates a certain impact. And a fixation is created. When the parents allow the celebrities to be the primary role model, then the natural consequences that the very fine line that exists between the reality and the illusion is forgotten. That line is obliterated, and therein lies the problem. The moment you obliterate the line between fantasy and reality, the situation becomes so blurred and hazy that you cannot impart lessons about ethics, characters, and responsibility. I'm not denying that these actors, rock stars, film stars, athletes are good people in their own way. But the way they act at times are in conflict with the established notions of character and responsibility. Just to earn money, for example, in a good film, we will glorify villains, dacoits, and the children take them to be like that. The historical figures are forgotten. I was reading a book. Einstein never used flashcards. And this is by a Russian author, Michigan Golomkin. He writes, and very correctly he writes, that the convenience of the television as an electronic babysitter can diminish the active use of imagination. Something is being portrayed in front of him, and his mind, his sound, ears, his eyes, vision, all three are fixated on that. Stops imagining, stops thinking. Suppose he's reading Grimm's tale or a fairy tale, then he imagines going with a fairy or a fairy being rescued by a prince, showing valor and love, or an old person being given respect, showing veneration for the age. So those are forgotten, but he's slashing right and left, killing people, shooting with reason or without reason many times. makes a child feel that if he was this guy, then he would be somebody whom people would venerate, respect. And then he looks all around and there are loud claps and laughter and hurrahs. And all that has an impact. So the child, which is the age of curiosity, the age of pretending and inventing, the age of creativity, is replaced by make-believe, often devoid and away from reality facts. And when parents allow the celebrities to be the model, then it's horrible. What the children do is they absorb, they interpret and mimic the images on screen as they're more exciting and colorful than they live another life. So that becomes an escape for them. And who doesn't want to escape the drudgery and dreary pain of life? They understand that if they have to study, they'll have to work. But they can start watching, and the parents say, okay, the child is watching, let him watch. He's not creating a disturbance. Forgetting that creating a disturbance is something which is required. When the mind is disturbed, the child will become creative because he'll think the ways out of coming out of that disturbance. He'll be self-supporting, he'll be self-enabling. So you have taken that right of being self-enabling away from him. Put him under mental anesthesia. And then you want a child to grow. Just imagine a favorite celebrity endorses a new toy, a new breakfast cereal, a pair of expensive sneakers. The child's validation of the item's worth carries more weight. The child says, well, he's having it, why should I not have it? I remember when I was a child, there was an Indian actress, Sadhana, and she had a peculiar system of haircut, and that became a craze. Little thinking whether that haircut suits you or not. So, and what do? The celebrity endorsement of the cereal, of the toys, expensive sneakers, anything, place burden even with the economy of the family. So, there is an ongoing glamorization of celebrities. Actually, I don't want to call them celebrities. But I'm using the word celebrities only in that context because the real celebrities are being forgotten. So the glamour of the celebrities celebrating badly seems to be much more impressionable and appealing to the minds of the impressionable children. How many times you tell a child that behavior is inappropriate, the child says, but so and so is doing it, you'll take the name of an actor, famous actor, anyone. So there's a diminishing emphasis in the actual consequence of wrongdoing. And that confuses the children. You tell the child to speak the truth, and he sees the hero indulging in the falsehoods. You tell the child to be honest, and he sees that the dacoit and the thief have been portrayed with sympathy. They might deserve sympathy, but you're portraying it in a way that the ethics principles do not apply to them. And second thing, all these celebrities are associated with being sexy. They are sexy. So there's a childhood becomes and attains a new sexualized outlook. And the parents can protect them. And that is why the teenage pregnancies and premarital relationship are increasing every day. And that is why the child never, or most time never, objects when he's being sexually exploited even, because the thing is a part of life. There is a clear emulation and there's a clear copying of sexy female celebrities. And then that is absolutely opposed to the reality of physical and emotional development of young kids. it is putting them at the risk of predators. And when our children are sexually exploited, we blame the predators. We don't blame ourselves. We are the people responsible for making them weak and accessible to the predators. Thirdly, it lowers the self-esteem of the children. Children do not make a connection that the celebrity is acting, is only playing a role. Nor do they understand that the actors may be absolutely different personalities when they are off camera. Again, remember a Hindi movie. And in that, the heroine is smitten by the actors. And then one of the actors comes in a real life and shows himself to be. That in films he is always a villain, but in real life he is not. So, acting is divorced from life, but the children cannot differentiate it between the reality and actuality. The reality presented in a film or a TV screen is skewed. They tend to idolize these stars, make them celebrities, where they should be only called actors. As a matter of the word star, celebrity, they are misnomers. They should be called actors. They should be called players or anything. But no connotation should be used for them for this purpose. So when the child sees that his so-called hero is behaving in that manner and he cannot do it, imagine the Superman heroes. They are making child, and I've seen children being killed. They try to ape it. So your child's self-esteem is devalued, and the result leads to what? Obesity, because he's sitting all the time. Substance abuse. If the hero is taking heroin, why should I not take it? And withdrawal, leading even to suicide. And do you know, and that's the reason, that there's 25% increase in the suicide rates, and especially at the teenage level. I'm not saying that all celebrities have a negative impact. There are actors who lend support to the charities, launch after school programs, comedians who visit hospitals to cheer up children and the patients. Yes, that's positive, but that's not portrayed. There are unsung hero aspects of all personalities that can make them inspirational. So it's important to discuss the important traits that we want our children to respect and imitate. Talk about whether that hero, the star, the celebrity reflects the real values or not. And then there is an age factor. You expose a child at the age of 9 and 10, and you can never erase that picture. You expose the child at the age of 17, 18, picture would remain hazy. Because child has been able to understand the difference between the screen and the real life, between the real and the real. But first step should be, we should stop talking about these people as celebrities. Celebrities should be the moral teachers. I would be happy if Nelson Mandela is called a celebrity. Copy him. Martin Luther King, Bismarck, Churchill, Gandhi. These are the people. And in spite of my being against religion, there have been religious leaders who are fit role models, the Karam yogis, like Krishna, Gobind Singh, Martin Luther, the originator of the Protestant church, not King. King himself is, of course, there. So we have people in history, we have people in religion, we have people even in the social structure of our own who can be our role models. My role model was my principal of the college and my father. because I could see them in reality, and there was no diffusion of the impact. So celebrities, as a matter of fact, they should not be called celebrities, as I said. These stars and the rock stars, the players, are good, but make the child understand their real worth, where they are good and where they are not good, which values they really promote and which values are only for the purpose of earning money. And when you can do that, you will be able to make your child a healthy, normal, progressive, creative person, a human being, a Homo sapien. As it is, you are turning them out to be copycats. And copycats of those values which you yourself don't like many times. It's quite a contradiction in life that we do something which we don't want to do. And we expose our children ourselves knowingly, deliberately, intentionally to destroy them. Are we parents or are we murderers? Murderers of the creativity, murderers of their thought, murderers of their values. Think about it today. Tomorrow may be too late. The child that is made today will not be unmade tomorrow, will not be altered tomorrow. The word celebrity, remove it from your dictionary. Remove its use. Use proper terminology and see that they are not the role models. Let the child, help the child select a role model, even if it's a fictional character. For example, when you pick up a role model like Ulysses from fiction, you are imbibing some values in that. So role model must have values which are in consonance with the human values, with your personal values, with your family values, and most importantly, the values of the child that you want to develop. And as I said today, now is the time. Tomorrow will be too late. An hour after, it will be too late. Don't waste, don't dawdle. Make the child understand the values, ethics, character, creativity, and you will have no regrets. Thank you.